So when we look at building that trust with others on our team, so that we can get to that authentic point. Kind of one of the other videos that I was watching through, you really talk about focusing on the basics, which I feel like those would be the trust, candor, your authenticity. Those are the basics. And I loved how you highlighted it in this view of, because when everything else crumbles, that's kind of like your North Star of how to come back to that, right? How does a company know what those basics are? And are those all the basics that we just talked about? Are there more there? But how do we build those? And we can take this in two parts, because I'm also curious of how you keep that at the forefront, right? And the reason I ask that is because I feel like, especially with the mix of in-office and hybrid, I think we're never going to go back to having everybody in the office. I think we're always going to be this hybrid.
That's correct.
I think if you're not offering your employees that option, you're going to lose them.
You are correct again.
But in the office, at least it feels like it's a little bit easier to have like the plaque on the wall that reminds us what is important here, or, the memos that say this is our mission. So how do you bring all that together in kind of like this new dynamic that we have going on?
What we have found recently is that companies are doubling down on core values. Okay? So let me take a step back and kind of explain this, is that culture is the thing that drives organizational success. A lot of times when people think about engagement, we did an engagement survey, we had 98%, we're really, really engaged. That's the individual's relationship with work. Culture is about the relationship to the company, the environment, particularly the leadership. So when companies think about corporate culture, core values, I have a client that thinks of core values as starting with heart, which is making sure that you come to every interaction with positive intent. Those types of values govern the behavior. So when we think about authenticity, we think about it in terms of what are the core values of the company, and how can you behave in a way that maintains your humanity and integrity while upholding corporate values. Now, this can take place whether you're in person or on Teams or on Zoom. It can take place anywhere. I'll give you a quick example. So I was coaching someone once, and they were talking to me about a series of emails that they had gotten from a colleague. And in these emails, there was a rather heated exchange. And they were like, well, Richard, how do I deal with this? How do I craft my response? I said, we don't craft a response. He was like, well, what do you mean we don't craft a response? I said, we pick up the phone and we talk to this person. And we realize that this person is trying to solve the same issue, perhaps differently than what we would have done, but they are attempting to solve this issue. Pick up the phone, have a conversation, be a human, talk to one human to another. That is how we maintain them when we're in this hybrid kind of environment where we're in the office sometimes, we're out of office most of the time, is that we really have to go back and say, and really kind of use the platinum rule. Have you ever heard of the platinum rule?
I only know the golden rule. I feel like I'm really stepping it up, going platinum today. What is the platinum rule?
So the golden rule says, I will treat everyone as I want to be treated.
Oh, so I see. I'm going to let you say it. I know where you're going. I'm going to let you say it.
So the golden rule assumes you are just like me.
Yeah.
The platinum rule says treat everyone as they would like to be treated, which says there may be some difference here. There may be a way that you're approaching. Let me treat you the way that you want to be treated, which requires me to get to know you. So it's important that when we think about these hybrid situations, when we think about core values, we're thinking about how can I relate to a person in a way that's authentic to me, honest to me, has integrity, but allows the other person to maintain theirs as well.